Okay, so this is a thing that's been on my mind for a while. It's going to be a square one based kind of J. McNeil kind of ramble, and it's going to be about why the Lin method is absolutely worse than Vandenburgh for square one. Before I start this, I'm completely open to criticism. If I miss anything, then feel free to get annoyed at me in the comments, but I'll hopefully cover everything I can. So I'm going to quickly outline the method. So Vandenburgh starts off with cube shape, then after cube shape, orient all the corners, then use an algorithm to orient all the edges, algorithm to commute all the corners, and then just its EP, which you can learn some algs for. Anyway, Lin works a bit differently, and now excuse how bad I am. Also starts off with cube shape, but after cube shape, instead of doing CO, you make a block here, and then unturtle like this, but the block next to it. Oh, and plus one edge down here. And then use an algorithm to solve this edge and CP at the same time. I don't know them, why would I? And then just the edges. So if you've never done square one before, you might have already looked at one of them and chosen which one you thought looked better. So I'm going to go over the arguments that are actually made for Lin being viable and kind of compare them to Vandenburgh and why I think it's better in these aspects. And so I don't know if this is really an argument, but it's efficiency based. I'm not going to go over actual move counts, but I think it's a bit easier to be quite efficient at Vandenburgh, to the point where I actually think it's pretty difficult to be inefficient in most stages. And I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, same for Ramble again. For cube shape, there's nothing that's the same between both methods, so one can be more efficient. Now, corner orientation is difficult to be inefficient because it's just better. It's just a case. But it's really easy to recognise because they just stick out so much. So you're recognising something quite efficient and just doing it pretty quickly. EO, it's just an alg, as long as you're using a decent alg. It's good. The only way not to be inefficient is sometimes not forcing the right PBL, but it's not like that's really an issue. And then EP, I suppose, is inefficient if you don't, you might end up doing something like that into something like that, but that's something you can develop over time the more and more you start to care about it, and overall you end up with fairly efficient solutions. So to every step, it's not that easy to be inefficient. Okay, a new scramble. Let me just quickly scramble this. Right, cube shape quickly. I'll just do something random. That's okay. Should probably just focus on what I'm doing. Like that. Okay, now when you get to this bit, you have to have some kind of immediate scan of the cube. So that's pretty easy. And I think it's really easy to accidentally do kind of inefficient stuff here. For example, spamming M2s and stuff. And another thing would be, if you don't know the algs, well, I won't go into that because that applies to Vandenburgh as well. But I think the block building stage versus EO and CO is harder to A, look ahead during, and B, to be efficient in. So that's my first point. It's just though you can be efficient at both, it's way easier this way. Now the next thing that's pointed out is ALG count, because you don't have to learn as many EPs, and also there aren't too many of the CP+1 ALGs. So I thought I'd just show some fast ALGs that you cannot get with Lin. For example, adjacent, which is a fast ALG. This little M2, U2, M2, can't get that with Lin. And more complex stuff like 2 U-perm, I don't know the ALGs for 2 U-perms, so I've done it wrong there. But stuff like that, like adjacent W, that's like a, I'm not very good at this one because I learned it recently, but that's the first one. So A, just because there are fewer ALGs doesn't mean they're better, but I could be proven wrong in that, honestly. But the other thing is, I think it's been really over-exaggerated how many EP ALGs you need to learn. I'd say you need to know adj, opposite, that's 2, and you'll already know them from a beginner's method. The single layer EPs you learn in Lin, and then that's pretty much it. Once you know those ones, you can do other stuff. Like, yeah, Lin, you can't get this. This is not an extra ALG though, because it's literally just a Z-perm that's one move different, or yeah, stuff like, I'll set this up now. Oops. Yeah, opposite swap on the bottom. It's an extra ALG, but it's one move different from the opposite swap on top. So, yeah. The last one I'd say would be like, so you got parity and it was on the bottom like that. Instead, you don't have to do 2 ALGs, you can literally just do that. So you don't have to learn actually barely any more ALGs than Lin. Of course, if you want to optimize it a bit more in future, yes, you can learn additional ALGs like this thing I did earlier. Again, I still don't know how to finger trick this, but I think it, I think it could be a fast ALG once I like practice it a bit. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I think the ALGs argument is a bit silly, and actually, because another point is that you have to learn like EO and CP ALGs, and I'm going to show you how similar the ALGs are. This is the 1-1 ALG, you have to know this for Lin. This is M2, you have to know this for Lin. Okay, now we've got that covered, let's look at some other EO ALGs. With this one, I'm going to do M2 and cancel into the 1-1 ALG. Lin user could probably do that. This ALG, it's the 1-1 ALG but with all 3s. Again, it's literally just an ALG any Lin user would know. This one you can basically do like that wasn't right. You can basically do adj into M2, but there's also a really simple ALG like this. I don't know, I can't, wait, hold on. Which is pretty similar to adj, and so it's not difficult to learn. And I don't know if I need to explain this. So that's EO covered. It's not any more difficult to learn. Right, here are some CP ALGs. Now, do these look like difficult ALGs to learn? No. What about this one? Nope. This one? It's not that difficult. They all involve loads of threes. What about single end perms? Yeah. Now do that again. And it's just the same trigger 3 times. This one, yeah. You do this. You do that one, and then just cancel into that. And then the last one would be, yeah, I did that wrong, but exactly the same kind of thing. You do that and then just cancel into this. CP algs are arguably the easiest alg in the method. So hopefully I've completely dismissed the algorithm argument against using Vandenburgh, because I can almost guarantee that the Lin algs are not as easy to break down as that. And not gonna lie, even the high move count ones, they're not exactly slow, are they? Like, okay, I messed up there, but like they're pretty finger tricky. Like I do that, it's pretty finger tricky. So yeah, out count, that is really not a great point. Now I've heard it said that Lin is easier to get good at. That's the most crazy point ever. I don't really want to go over that because it's a bit silly. Lin requires much more focus. You pretty much need to learn them, otherwise you'll be having to do one of these longer algs like that, or maybe that, in every solve. Well, not every solve, but you might be doing something like that fairly often. So I think it should definitely focus more. You definitely have to have a lot more focus in then, otherwise it's a lot harder to be efficient and get good. Because at the end of the day, once you know the basic algs for square one, you just need to do a lot of solves. With Lin, there's quite a bit more optimization before you can actually, like a bit more optimization than Vandenburgh. You have to do some either way, but it's just a lot easier to get good at Vandenburgh, and it's a lot faster in the long run. Why do I say it's a lot faster in the long run? Well, it's because of how it can be optimized. So of course I've optimized it. I'm not a professional square one solver. I'm not slow, but I'm not exactly challenging podium. I'm not exactly brilliant at it. That's it, yeah. So these are the ideas. I believe you could definitely learn to 3-look a square one solve with Vandenburgh if you could learn how every single cube shape affects CP. Like, let's just pretend this was done courseless, yeah. Then that's 1 look. Now I'm also implying that this would be done with CSP. And when you get to this point, you just do 1 alg to solve for both layers. You think that's crazy? Well, I'm sorry, but it's already been done. I think it's Samuel Feng. He's called Cube Master on YouTube. He's learned full PBL. And the best thing about it is it's just other ones broken. Like, I believe he does stuff like, look, I've got an A perm here. 1 CP alg, 2nd CP alg, and that solves the A perm. Stuff like that. And that can be done for most of them. So with CSP, it's fairly possible to 3-look. However, in the years to come, it is technically 2-lookable if you knew OBL as well. I'm not going to pretend that's at all viable or going to happen anytime soon. But how well can you one-look stuff with Lin? Now, I've seen Helmer's walkthrough solves, and I know he can predict some stuff from his blocks. Like, he'll know what's going to be preserved during cube shape a lot of the time. But I think that's a lot less viable, and there won't always be something obvious. Like, you could consistently 3-look with that. If you can't really see anything down here in this section, then you will just have to rely on look ahead, whereas this will just be TPS based. You could probably get your averages down to definitely sub 6, but who knows. And that's kind of my closing thoughts. The potential of Vandenburgh is way higher. Like, people know full PBL. People know, and it's more developed, if anything. Well, I don't like that as an argument normally, but like, it is a bit more developed, and just, I'm not gonna say don't use Lin. I'd recommend not learning Lin if you're looking to get fast. The only reason to learn Lin is if you enjoy it more. But if you want to get as fast as you possibly can at the event, then please just learn Vandenburgh and stick with it.